Alright guys, we're back staring at my engine bay, and in this video we're going to talk about a pretty common issue that people face when they're replacing their downpipes on their B58s. So I'm in the process of going through my 340i. You've probably seen some of the videos of me trying to diagnose the issues that it had, and while I was going through it, I noticed this on the downpipe. And I know it looks kind of crazy, but I already know exactly why this looks like that. So I'm going to go ahead and take the clamp off and we can talk about somewhat of a common problem that people face on B58s. So now I've got the downpipe off. That was actually a little bit entertaining going through that process. I found a couple more surprises underneath the car. So not sure why that was left like that, but I'll get that fixed as well. Anyway, here's the downpipe clamp that I've taken off. And besides for the fact that there was no gasket on the downpipe, so that kind of explains all the soot and everything inside of the clamp. But of course, we also had this bolt situation. And I already knew why this was going to look like this because I figured they replaced the bolt and it didn't have threads along the entire length. And sure enough, that's what it was. So they stacked up all these washers because what I'm assuming is the original bolt got messed up. And so this is what the downpipe clamp looks like. And you see on the back, there is a nut here that's just kind of held in place. I actually thought this was welded originally, but I don't think it is. It's just kind of pinched in place like this. And what ends up happening is when people are trying to unscrew this, it works for a little while, but then eventually the nut gets a little bit loose. And so it can slide up and down like this, and it can kind of come out of its position. And if you keep torquing it down while it's not all the way tightened, it can round out this nut. And then what ends up happening is you're spinning this and it's not loosening at all. It's just kind of twisting. And because of the way that this is mounted in the car, you can't actually see all the time. But on the back end, that's what you're missing. There's a nut that's not properly fitted in this little slot. And that's why it's just spinning and spinning. So you have a couple different options. One is you can kind of wedge something in here to push it out and keep tension on the bolt. So hopefully while you're spinning it, it can keep this nut snug down in that little pocket so you can actually back it off. But if this nut is completely rounded and not being held in here anymore, then unfortunately you're going to have to cut the bolt off. So hopefully you've at least got it loose enough where you can rotate it a little bit. And so just kind of rotate the clamp in this kind of position and get to cutting, basically just saw it in half. And then you can buy a brand new bolt to replace this one. You probably want to buy the bolt first if this is your only car. Tighten it back down, drive to Home Depot Motorsports and get a new M8 by 1 bolt. And this bolt's about 3.5 inches long if you want it to be the exact same length. So you can buy a replacement bolt, you can buy a replacement nut as well, and then that will get you back going. So hopefully this kind of illustrates what's going on if you're kind of blind trying to figure out why the bolt's just spinning and spinning and the clamp doesn't seem to be getting any looser. That's what's happening in the background. This nut is rounded out and you either need to put it back under tension so that the nut can be held in place, or you're going to just have to rotate the entire clamp to a position where you can cut the bolt in half. So this is a pretty common issue. I'm very blessed and lucky that it didn't happen to me, but hopefully if you guys do run into this situation, you're able to rectify it pretty easily. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope this helps. If you have any other questions or comments, leave them down below.